masterclass itself. So I'll be giving a little bit of introduction about a few things about equipment. So you have already seen the agenda, what I've said. And I was just saying, like, I do have a setup over here. When it comes to the camera settings, like I'll be showing you physically, showing the camera view with the settings, and I'll be explaining about how exactly I go about with the settings for wildlife, because you'll not get too much of a time. And also for wildlife photography, like when you're shooting from the vehicle in the safari vehicle with limited space. So I do also have like some of the various accessories what I use as a part of my wildlife photography, like in the vehicle. So all the various accessories I have here, I'll be sharing that as well. And we'll keep it a little bit of interactive where anything you have related to the things what I'm explaining about. So you're welcome to just ask it in the chat, and I should be able to respond. Okay. Cool. And what I do is I'm going to mute all and make sure currently you cannot unmute yourself, so that like we have silence during the session. Okay, so let me share the screen. Superb. So we are going to get started with this. Okay. Now, when it comes to wildlife photography, one thing which I just definitely want to start with the Wildlife Week and everything is this very, very famous image of mine, which is the image of the tiger and the gaur. So this is an image which is very close to my heart. Simple reason being, so I was into wildlife for close to, I mean, like 95, 96 is when I started my wildlife photography, 1995, around that time. And for close to 10 years, I did not see a tiger in the wild. So that is how lucky I was with tiger sighting. And after being into wildlife for 10 years, I finally managed to see my first tiger. And what you're seeing here, so this is the image what I captured. Okay, so that is where this image is very close to my heart. And also this image like was even shortlisted in the BBC Wildlife Photographer of the Year finals. And this image has been used worldwide in a lot of places, right from the Karnataka tourism, like they use it a lot of places, and even worldwide WWF. So everywhere they use this image. So this image is very close to my heart. Moving forward, the other two images which are very close to me are the two award-winning images. The Leopard Slumber, which is the Sanctuary Asia Wildlife Photographer of the Year winner. And then the other one is the National Geographic Yellow Border winner. So this again shot in Bharatpur, and then the leopard image shot in Kabini. So both of them quite close to my heart. And in fact, each of these images, the way I've created it, a lot of thought process has gone behind that. In fact, if you take the National Geographic winning image of the pelicans and the two darters at the back. So this was early morning in Bharatpur, where I made sure like I go with a vertical shot. And then even when I saw the two pelicans just like swimming by, I had focused the frame with the darters, and I was hoping that both the pelicans will come into the frame here and I should be able to get my shot. And as expected, it happened, and I was quite lucky with this. So vertical shot, and in fact, as soon as I played back the image, the first thing which struck me was like, this is a National Geographic material. It was so good, even the playback in the screen. Of course, a little bit of processing with the contrast and white balance got the correct mood which I wanted to create in the image. And even the leopard image also, like leopard on the tree here. Previous evening, we saw this on the tree with the kill, and we knew next day morning it is going to be there. So that is where the whole concept of pre-visualization, the concept of understanding the animal behavioral aspect, a lot of those things comes into picture for wildlife photography. And next day morning when we went there, it was right there, and I was able to capture it. Almost like it was there for the entire day, a full 12 hours while we were there. Of course, in between we went and came, but some of our friends from the forest department were there, and it did not move. So it was sleeping there on the tree for a good 12 hours, morning 6:30 till evening 6:30. Okay, so with these images as a backdrop for the Wildlife Week, I think we'll get started with the main workflow. Now, the very first thing which people are saying, like, if we have to get into wildlife photography, what kind of equipment we need to possess? Now, one thing I'll be very honest here. I keep saying, like, even with an entry-level equipment, you can get into wildlife photography. That is absolutely true. In fact, a lot of you have seen me using my cell phone, my Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra and all the Samsung devices in the past, where I use the cell phone also like for wildlife photography, sometimes close-up, sometimes habitat shots. So there is no one set of equipment I can say that this is the best equipment for wildlife photography. So based on what equipment you have, if you ask me, I think that is the best equipment to get started with wildlife photography. Doesn't matter what kind of focal length. But of course, when we're talking about serious photography, serious wildlife photography, then at a higher level, yes, the equipment does really matter. Okay, so the equipment which I carry around, okay, are these things. Now, in my case, I carry a couple of Sony Alpha 1 bodies, so two Alpha 1. So one Alpha 1 goes on the 400 mm and the other Alpha 1 goes on the 600 mm. So these two are the fixed standard combination what I carry. And sometimes, like depending on the location, if I carry the 7200 and may not carry the 600 mm, then the 400 and the 7200 will be the common combination, both again on the Alpha 1. And I also have started doing a lot of video shoots. So that is where I carry my A7S3. So A7S3 is fantastic for low light photography. And in fact, this video, what I'm shooting, so this one is from the A7S3. So I've connected the A7S3 with the Sony 24-105 lens and then connected it to Zoom and then broadcasting using that. So that again is a standard combination with the 24-105 because I shoot a lot of landscape images of the wildlife. So sometimes like the tigers, they come quite close, or for that matter, sometimes even peacock in flight. So a lot of those creative images, if I want to do, then I go with a wide angle lens that is a 24-105, a wide angle tele lens is what I use along with the A7S3. And depending on situation, sometimes immediately in the field, I change this lens onto the A1 as well. So if I'm trying to shoot some action with the 24-105, then I switch over to the Alpha 1 as well. So I keep changing the bodies like depending on what I'm planning to shoot. Now, apart from that, I also carry a 1.4 TC. So 1.4 TC, especially on the 600 mm for my bird photography, or if I'm trying to create some extreme close-up mammal photography, so in that case, I do basically like use the teleconverter. Okay. Now for the rest of you, like who says, fine, Sudhir, that is what you use, but what about us? So entry level, we have limitation in budget, or this is the budget what I have. So in those cases, like what can we do? So that is one of the common questions which comes. So for that, I do have a very simple answer. So let me share a different screen for that. So if you want to select equipment, a camera and a lens for wildlife photography, or for that matter, any genre of photography, so visit my website, sudhirshriramphotography.com. So here what I have done, so I have created this database, the best camera and lens to buy. So if you go into this best camera and lens to buy, here till date, all the latest cameras, be it from Nikon, from Sony, from Canon, so all of them, all the various cameras as well as lenses. Now, I have done a lot of research for close to 3 to 4 months to build this database, and I have not included every single lens and camera out there. So based on the most frequently asked questions for different genre of photography, so again, based on the budget, so I have put those kind of equipment. So this will serve as a good guidance for all of you to what kind of equipment to shortlist from. So this is very simple to use. What you can do is like, there are two sections. There is camera section and then there is the lens section. So first, go ahead and shortlist your camera. So based on the budget. So you can use the slider to decide what is the budget of your camera. Say you have around 1 lakh as the budget for your camera. So all the manufacturers as of now, Canon, Nikon, Sony. So within 1 lakh, the body cost, like I have put it. And also the calculation for the cost, what I've done is I've taken, I think around, the cost mentioned is 13% off MRP. So generally what happens, like on any of the manufacturer's website, you see a cost. So that is the MRP and that is never the selling price. So generally you get anywhere from 13% upwards of discount. So I've kept it at the lower end So very high probability, if you know the dealer well, then you will get even 15 to 20% discount on the MRP. So here for calculation and to display, I've just mentioned it as 13% and use that for the calculation. And if you see at a very high level, the important specifications which you need to know for the camera, I have put that over here. So where you wanted to know about the sensor, so the number of autofocusing points, which is very important when it comes to action photography, wildlife photography, sports photography, even wedding for that matter. And also the frames per second, the ISO capability, the focus sensitivity. If you want to go technically in depth, I have the answer to that as well. And also the video capabilities and when it was released. So generally, I keep recommending to go with the latest release camera. So anything old, I would never recommend that. Okay, so this way you can shortlist, and again, camera type, DSLR, mirrorless, full frame, crop factor, those things are there. And depending on the genre also it's there. And from the desktop or even on your mobile, you can just enable the ratings. Then both the options will show you. So of course, if you switch off the ratings and you hover over it, you'll see the rating. So this is for the lens, this is for the camera. Same thing I have for the lens as well. Okay, so again, you decide what price, say between 10,000 to 2 lakhs is the price. Again, all the manufacturers have put it here, and then you say like, no, I want to go with Sony. Then you can click on the specific manufacturer, and all the lenses will come in, and then you can say like, okay, I want to know for bird photography, wildlife photography,